يا رسول الله يا حبيب الله يا رسول الله يا حبيب الله يا نور.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Welcome back, my dear children, to the 13th episode in our series In the Garden of the Beloved Prophet's Life sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today's topic is Meeting the Priest Bahirah and the War of Fijar. We learned, my friends, in the last episode that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had traveled with his uncle to Syria when he was 12 years old, and it was a long and hard trip. So everyone stopped to rest in the city of Busrah, in a place where caravans usually stop. And near that place was the house of a priest called Bahirah. Now Bahirah never showed interest in any of the caravans that passed by his house. But on that day, he saw something really strange from far away. He saw a cloud traveling with and shading one of the caravans. So he prepared food and he invited those travelers in. And while they were there, he was looking at Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as if he knew him. So he asked Abu Talib, "Who is this boy?" And he said, "He is my son." And the priest said, "It is not possible for this boy to have a father who is alive." So Abu Talib answered and said, "Yes, he is my nephew. His father passed away before he was able to see him." And the priest said, "This boy has the face of a prophet and the eyes of a prophet." And he came closer to the Prophet ﷺ to inspect him, and he saw the seal of prophethood between his shoulders. So he said to his uncle, "Go back to your country and protect your nephew, and be careful of the Jews." The caravan left Busrah and they sold their goods and they bought more goods from Syria, and then they returned to Mecca. And all this time the words of the priest stayed ringing in Abu Talib's ears, "Protect your nephew, be careful of the Jews, for he will be a very important person in the future." The Prophet ﷺ grew up differently than other children. He hated the idols, and he did not play with the other kids. Instead, he loved being alone to think. And when he reached 14 years of age, a war started between Quraysh and other Arab tribes, and the war was called the War of Fijar. This is because they fought their relatives and they battled in the months when it is forbidden to fight. And this war lasted 4 years. Then it finally ended after it had tired Quraysh and disrupted their trade. So the leaders of Quraysh decided to start a treaty called the Treaty of Fudul. In this, they promised to protect the weak and help them so that they can avoid more fighting and wars. Peace finally returned to Quraysh after this, and so did the trade. And our beloved Prophet ﷺ had passed 20 years of age when he started working in trade. He then got his nickname as the Honest and Trustworthy, and he became well known for it. So what happened after this? And what is the rest of the story? And what is the story of his traveling to Syria for trade? And also, what is the story of his marriage? This is inshallah what we will know in the next episode, so stay tuned, my dear friends.